Hi there folks, look, I just took a look at my charts, and that full moon eclipse, the lunar eclipse that's taking place on the 30th of November, I was actually looking at the wrong house for most of the signs. So I just wanted to quickly go through. Gemini, this is going to take place in your sun sign. So this has to do with your personal and emotional presentation, how you deal with your emotions. Well, Gemini, it's November 2020, Dadhichi here, and I hope you're keeping well given the retrograde movement of your ruling planet, which has been throwing a lot of heads into mush, if I could call it that. You know, Mercury being your ruler is an important planet, not just for yourself, it also rules the fourth house of your horoscope, which is your internal peace, your domestic circumstances, mother, all of those very, very important personal facets of your life. And fortunately, you'll be pleased to note that the retrograde movement of this planet ends around the 4th. It then starts to move back into its usual forward motion. And that would tell us that whatever has been going wrong, and I've been talking to a lot of people, there's been some weird stuff going on. That's one aspect of it. The other aspect is the retrograde movement of Mars, which will continue till the 14th, a day before the new moon, which occurs in your 6th house. So the retrograde Mercury is in your 5th house of love affairs, creativity. These are all the areas that have been sort of thrown into a tailspin. If your parents, 5th house has a great deal to say about your children and the relationship and communication you're having with them. Creative ventures may sort of end up not at all where you expect them to. Some of you may have what we call that creative block, where you're not able to quite get to that zone, you know, that really nice space within yourself where your words, your brush strokes, your guitar scales just aren't coming out the way you want them to. And that's that 5th house. Nicely, however, you do have Venus there. So for some of you, this could be the start of a new relationship. You've got that retrograde Mars in the 11th house. That you have to be watchful of, because Mars is not a particularly friendly planet for you. And in the 11th house, it has to do with your social activities. So up until the 14th at least, maybe a little longer, because the retrograde planets, even when they go forward, take a little bit of time to pick up steam and to pass that point at which they started hurling the proverbial at the fan. You know, that can indicate disputes. It can be a little disappointment with friends that promise to do things but don't actually follow through. And, you know, Mars is an action planet, so this has to do with you know, the way things are done. Mercury has to do with the way things are thought of, the way things are communicated, the way things are said. So there's a difference in the qualitative approach to the... Hello? I'm in the middle of recording, sorry. Sorry about that. My faithful cook. She's a good cook, but her English isn't too good. Maybe she's going through retrograde Mercury at the moment. So where was I? The important thing, I think, for you especially, apart from these two important points, which can throw your own self into a tailspin, your domestic affairs, these are the areas that are ruled by Mercury, and more to do with the communicative aspects of your interaction. But the new moon is taking place in the 6th house. What's the 6th house, you ask? A lot of people say, Dadhichi, stop talking all that celestial BS. Just give it to me straight, man. Okay, 6th house is your health. It's your working environment. It's your co-workers. It's also the people that actually work for you, not just with you. So, you know, you will be taking a completely new stance on this, a different approach to this. The new moon is an unfolding of new territory, if I could use the word territory, just in terms of your attitude. And that's also shown by these retrograde planets. You definitely need to make some changes there. As well as that, this has to do with your health and your vitality. The sixth house shows us the types of sicknesses or diseases that you're likely to get. And if you watch the introduction to my monthly this month, I mentioned the Vedic sidereal positions of Mars and Mercury, your ruler, being in the exchange position of each other's stars. So that shows us, especially for you, because your sixth house happens to be the sign of the zodiac that is ruled by Mars. So I think there's an overexertion on your part. For those born under the sign of Gemini, this is one of the signs that has to be very, very careful this month. Overworking, trying to, win brownie points by doing more than you necessarily have to. And all that's going to do is blow a fuse. It's going to blow your nerves out, because Mercury is also the planet of nerves, and being your intimate ruler, this shows us some strife or some trouble there. But fortunately for the new moon, it's telling us if you're heeding the celestial, planetary and karmic signals that are coming to you, you will definitely make some changes. And I think that's good advice. It's important advice. As far as that creative aspect of the chart is concerned, as soon as Mercury moves forward, you've got that lovely combination of Mercury and Venus, two of your best planets, bringing and restoring some good faith with your relationships, opening up, releasing that block that you've had creatively, and getting back on track with that new moon in your work, with all of those workplace relationships, and most importantly, your health. So there you go. It's not all bad news. Don't forget, however, there's more. There's more. That's at astrology.com.au. You can find out more as a result of the daily, weekly, and the monthly synopsis, the chronological aspects that we've put there for you so you can see this in more detail. And the yearlies, of course, now that we're coming to the end of the year, there's still a little bit more information there if you'd like to avail yourself of that. Don't forget to subscribe. We need your subscription. And feel free, as you can see, when I finally get around to it, I do respond to your messages, and I do appreciate you all, tuning in and being so supportive. Thank you for that. I'll see you next month. Take care, and don't let those retrogrades get you down. Bye.